Call the meeting to order. Approval of the agenda as presented.
I'll approve that.
Thanks, Garnet. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, we have some additions to the agenda. We have to add a closed session, so 1.0 will be a tax agreement and some negotiations. So need a approval of with the additions.
I will.
Thanks, Bruce. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Previous council meeting minutes of July 21st.
I'll do that.
Thanks, Robin. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. We have a delegation at 9:30. A group's coming in to talk about a Irma Wildlife Trail. And new business, Ag Service Department.
Here comes Shelton.
Morning. So everybody has the report there. Any questions or comments? Or anything you guys would like to add? Gals?
Yeah, Rural Roots was July this year. Good, perfect. Yeah, Rural Roots was July this year on a Wednesday, so that was a good success again. We were at capacity on registration. We had a lot of work kind of preparing for our ASB field visit, so that was this past Monday on August 10th. So that went quite well. We don't have too much to kind of follow up on with that, so it was nice that the board was able to join us for the morning as well. Our new mix and load pad that was approved at the planning meeting earlier this year is all complete at the rec shop and in use. And Public Works has helped us out on a couple projects over the past month, including installation of a ventilation system on our new rat control seat can and helping out getting our boat drying unit put together and installed out at Clear Lake. So that's officially operational as of this past Friday. So you'll expect to see a post about that on social media. The bursary program is being advertised. The calendar contest just closed this past Saturday. So lots of the programs are kind of starting to wrap up for the season. Landview got us our canola rotation risk mapping information, so we'll be ready to start our club route inspections off of that. The mowing program was completed on August 1st, and everything's been going pretty smoothly with our roadside spray program. Everything's been completed on rotation, so everyone's kind of working on the spot spraying and the touch-ups and inspections in the private land projects now.
Excellent. Any questions or comments on that? No? Did the mowing, did that get straightened away? I know there was a comment last meeting about that. Was there a big improvement there?
Well, it's definitely something that was happening all over the region, like speaking with our kind of counterparts in our neighboring municipalities. It's really just the amount of moisture and how thick and lush the grass was. So it wasn't just our people here that were having a hard time with it. It was all over, just with the conditions in the ditches this year. Like they haven't been that thick in a very long time. So there's I don't know if there's really much else that they could have done to correct it, and they tried everything that they could try, but it just the grass condition, it was hard to avoid, unfortunately.
Yep. Any other questions or comments? No, I'd just like to say great job with Rural Roots. I've heard a lot of positive things on it, so
Yeah, it was great.
both of you did an excellent job. So
The
thank you for
entertainment
that.
was good.
Good. Well, thank you so
Great.
much.
Okay, motion to accept the report. Thanks, Richard.
I have one question on the RMA bulletin. There's a well site spraying. Do you have information? Do you encourage ratepayers to mention if they see weed control as an issue on well sites, or where do we go from
Oh,
there?
that would be good. I mean, we do have over 20,000 well sites in the MD, so there's just no capacity for us to be able to look at all of that. But if there does seem to be a trend of a specific company or issues, it is great for ratepayers to go ahead and report that to us. The process is tricky for sure. Like I'm not entirely up on how it looks like in the back end with the RCAM orders, but I don't know if it's very easy to get that reimbursement back.
That's what I thought about, like budgeting for that extra spray and then whether or not we'll get paid or for sure.
Yeah, it's hard to say, and what the, yeah, there, and like, you know, you do still need to go through the enforcement process with it, so,
Wow.
but if there is a trend, we definitely want to know about, you know, if there's a specific company that there does seem to be ongoing issues with, like, it's good for us to be aware,
Okay,
and then we can kind of investigate if that process is a good fit.
it's gonna make extra work for.
Which is, I mean, like, it's good to address those. If someone is, you know, there seems to be a company that is specifically not looking after those issues and it's impacting producers, then we definitely want to know about that and do what we can in that area. It's just the process seems like it might be a little bit onerous,
Yeah,
as far as actually getting that reimbursement back.
mhm. Thank you.
Okay, Richard made the motion. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, we have some RFDs, Rural Routes 2027.
Yeah, so as we just touched on our past rural routes, so looking ahead to 2027 for hosting.
Okay,
I make a
and-
motion to go with option 1.
Thanks, Sean. You want to host the Rural Routes 2027? Any questions or comments on that?
At you.
If not, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, Northeast Regional Agriculture Service Board Conference.
For this, we typically do bring in RFD for if council wishes to authorize any additional counselors beyond the board members to attend. So oftentimes, a lot of members of council do join for that. We do have our 5 board members, which includes 2 members of council. And this is just for additional.
Okay, any questions or comments on that?
I'll make a motion. We go with option 1.
Okay, thanks, Robin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Well,
I think it's good that counselors attend that. There's a lot of good information there.
yes.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
We'll get the agenda sent out to everybody.
Thank you.
Roadside mowing 2027.
So roadside mowing, we went out for our RFP earlier this year for 2026. And in that, there's always the option for the MD to extend the contract for additional year if they so choose. So this is if you wish to exercise that option to extend the contract to 2027 at the same rate that was paid this year at 102 per mile.
I'll make a motion, we go with option 1.
Okay, thanks, Richard. Any questions or comments? If not, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, we have an RFD for our Wainwright Chem site contractor.
So this one is our former chemical container site at Wainwright there. So we've undergone phase 1 and phase 2 environmental site assessments, and we're ready to go through the final phase, which is the demolition and reclamation of the site. It was bid on last year, and a contractor was selected by council in September. With the plans were to complete it last fall. With our kind of ongoing subdivision issues, that did get extended into spring, and unfortunately that was still ongoing. So we finally, that's all been resolved. The site is free and clear for us to go ahead and do the work. But then of course our contract extension had expired by then. So our contractor is that was initially selected by council last September is available to complete the work, and they have requested some additional funds to fulfill that contract.
Okay,
So they essentially want double the amount to do the same work.
They are still, with this additional funds, they're still $5,000 lower than the next lowest bid that was bid last year. So I don't think we're gonna find a better price. Like they're still lower than the next lowest. And with the cost of fuel, how it's gone up, I don't think that we'll be seeing anything less than that.
so did they give any reasoning to the price increase? Because it's not, 12% or,
Well, they would have seen the results last year. They had like pretty significantly underbid the project compared to what everyone else had bid it. So this puts them a little bit more in alignment with what the next kind of folks bid on it, but it is still less.
So would they have had to move the equipment in twice now?
No.
to
They
do
didn't
it?
have to, they haven't mobilized anything up yet,
Oh.
because we were still waiting for that access to the site.
so I guess I would ask, is there a time crunch to get this done if we decide to rebid this?
It would be nice to get it done, from the time that the phase 2 is complete. So that was last year. We have 3 years to complete the work because it's now an environmental liability, essentially, because it's known on our financial statements. So eliminating this project would then take that off our books, but it could still be done next year technically.
If the other bidders were that much higher, we're not going to get any cheaper. I don't
They'll
think.
raise their bids again too.
Possibly. What do you guys want to do? I don't like this increase. It's,
I don't like it
I
either.
don't, but you know,
It sure seems like a good way to extrapolate money from the MD.
but having said that, the responsibility on our part to get phase 2 done in a timely manner to proceed is, there was some
otherwise it's
hiccups
going to
there.
get lower than that.
I don't know.
It's going to be higher.
I realize that. I just, yeah,
But we did make them wait a year or two.
That's
They're
what I
willing
tried
to
to
do
say.
this last year, right?
Yeah, they
That's
were
what- that's what I
available
just
and
tried to
ready
say.
to do it last year, and it was kind of on our end that it was a delay.
is this something that could be done in-house?
Mm-mm. We looked at it, but it's a pretty big job, and that would mean pulling a lot off of construction.
So our engineering people are, they've waited a year too then.
Yeah, Rohai is our consultant on this, so they did our phase 1 and phase 2, and then they would be involved with the phase 3. And then once the excavation is complete, they have to do some confirmatory sampling, just to make sure that everything was removed that needed to be removed. Once that lab analysis comes back, then it's the backfill and adding the topsoil back on, and then we would be doing the seeding after the fact. I'm not too sure. It's like it's definitely a whole. 'Cause they're gonna need to take the existing building needs to be demolished. The materials need to be separated. That needs hauled out to the dump. And then, well, and then the excavation, and then the backfill and grading and all of that.
And I think in this case, we did have a contract with these folks that expired and it wasn't due to their fault. The responsibility was on ours, so with that in mind, I'm fine with contracting it out still, and like you said, I don't think we'll get a cheaper price. If we rebid it, I don't think the price is gonna decrease. But. Thanks, Oscar. Okay, any questions or comments on that motion? Not all those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, ladies. Okay, and the ASB minutes are there for your information. And I assume they're coming.
Yeah,
There's a glitch in the computer.
yeah. Somewhere.
Good morning, how are you?
But they had trouble with
Morning, council.
green shields.
Morning, gentlemen. So we have the Director of Public Works report there. As Preston settling, and any questions or comments that anyone has?
Had a lot of contractors come through in the last 10 days. So fog seal's complete, line painting's complete, crack sealing's complete. The cementing we just completed here last Friday. And chip seal, we got first top coat done on all the new projects except for Division 3 project.
That's okay.
Yeah,
He
so
went fishing, so it doesn't matter.
yeah, it's just the way timing was. It's been a long go. So obviously next time contractors in, we will chip seal that project and then second coat everything else, do our single coat and then do a top coat for second coat on that project as well. And we'll be wrapped up on our contractors. Also grader training came in. We did that last week. It went really well, well received. So that was a good day. We have another one scheduled here in September, so let's see how that goes. The weather has been somewhat cooperative in the last little bit. We've been going hard on construction. We're working on the far east end at the start. That's where some of the largest fills and cuts are. We're working through that, so it's taking us a little time. We've been plagued with a little bit of downtime as well. So currently we have one machine that's in Edmonton, that's in the shop. Just got into the shop today. So last week it was not in the shop and just got into the shop actually yesterday, not today, yesterday. So they're looking at something in the back engine there. That was number 2. So that's, I believe that's one of our most recent purchases. We had one with a joystick that went down, another one with I think it was a emission sensor or something. So I do believe we have both fitting mechanics out there today to get these other 2 machines running. And our 160, leak on the cylinder again? Something going on in the 160. Yeah, I can't remember exactly the details on it. So, and our Komatsu dozer, we had an issue with it as well. So this last 5 days, 7 days with equipment has been quite interesting, kind of all piled up at the same time. So hopefully we get through this little bit of a delay here and back into her and going hard again. So, as well as we also had Sandstar return and do some warranty work on Range Rover 42. We're yet to do an inspection on that. We have a few things in-house to do before we call them in and return and visit with them on site. I think from what I've seen so far, they've stepped it up and it looks pretty good. But we still have to watch some of the water drainage issues that we were talked about earlier. So we'll look at that as well, take that in consideration.
And unfortunately, the forecast doesn't, well, fortunately or unfortunately.
Yeah,
doesn't look
depends how
very
you
good
look
for
at it,
moisture,
right?
so.
So
Did we get the John Deere back, dozer?
yes, it did came back right after council
Oh, okay.
last month. So
And it's working well?
yeah, it's working well. We haven't had a glitch in it yet. So probably coming up close to that first, 200-hour oil change. Gonna be getting close now. Yeah.
Are we starting to get close on getting caught up on gravel and roads, or are we still, June was pretty tough?
Yeah, June is a tough month. I mean, we're going every day and doing what we can. So, and then you mix in, our cementing projects and, the rolling projects. So, I mean, we got a lot going on. Most of our projects are on the east side of the division line. So the contractors on the west side is only graveling roads, which, I mean, it's steel from Peter to feed Paul, depending on which year we do things and how it works. But yeah, things are happening. They're going.
Any other questions or comments? Not somebody want to make a motion to accept the report as presented?
I can do that.
Thanks, Bruce. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And then our streetlight project in south of town on 65. One light is installed. I noticed the wire has been wired to the other pole. So we'll see when the other light's installed. So, okay, looks pretty close to me and completed on that as well.
Good.
That'll make me feel better.
Director of Safety report.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning, Ray.
The safety side, I'm sitting in on a few webinars on hazardous materials and exposure put on by OH&S. There's another 2 segments left of that series. Other than that, it's business as usual for safety. For Parks and Rec, continuing to make our water samples at Clear Lake Beach as per AH&S. Met with some seasonals down at Riverdale, discussed some possible upgrades, some ideas that they wanted to put forward. Ideas including some speed signs, directional signs, minor stuff like that. I have been planning and prepping for the Kid Sport tournament that took place last Friday. I have yet to come up with a raised number. From what I hear, it was well received, really good. So we're just looking to see what numbers kind of got produced with that. Arm Lake had a pump go down about a week ago. I went out there, met up with the electrician. We swapped out a pump that I had in the box of my truck, reconfigured the control box there. Now it seems like the pump is running on a better, steadier pace. So no issues, no hiccups with that as of yet. Yeah, and then just an update for council here for our construction of the new cook shacks and chain shacks are scheduled to begin at the end of this month. And then we have the siding for Riverdale Clubhouse looking toward the end of September. And that's when they're going to start, just to kind of get away from all the commotion and all the action that's out there. They kind of want to do it when it's a little quieter, right? So understandable. This time next year we'll have brand new clubhouse out there with new siding. So
It'll look good.
I'm hoping it looks a lot better than it
color?
does. No, we're actually going with it's a Mildred blue, I believe is the color. It's I got some samples I can show you guys, but no, it'll fit in really good out there, I think. So
Okay, just with that pump at Arm Lake, is that like is there a VFD there on the control box? Is there parameters set?
there is the existing control box that we have there. There's 6 settings. Only 2 of them have functions. When I went out there on Saturday, looking over the manual and talking with the electrician, it was sitting on function 4, which really didn't do anybody any good. So we matched the hertz of the pump that we installed with the correct setting, which is setting 1 with what we have. So everything seems to be kicked in. We're not getting any overheating or anything like that. So we're monitoring that, and if any issues arise, they'll contact me, and myself and the electrician will go out there again and try to make sense of it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Is there new washrooms at Clear Lake too?
They're supposed to be.
No,
No, it was just the
Just the cook
upgrade of the
shack
chain shack.
and the change shack. The
cook
washrooms,
shack, yeah.
I mean, they get maintained. We have our contractor that does all of Riverdale and Arm Lake. They go out there and they clean them up often as well. But nothing in the plan for replacing those as of yet. Definitely something I can look into.
Yeah, we should.
Okay, then I will.
Are
definitely
you
write that down.
feeling that we should include that in the change rooms? Is that what you're kind of hinting
I
at?
would think, yeah, because the ones that are there are very, not really good.
Yeah, so what I think what Mike said, like, so for the work proposed for the change or the cook shack and the change rooms is already kind of said and done. We're gonna get what we're gonna get for that. So the washrooms would have to be a separate project all on itself. But
Yeah.
I can definitely bring you a cost. And then we can put it in for next year's budget,
Yeah.
or I can talk to you a little bit more one-on-one on that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we should.
it would be a little more entailed as well as.
Yeah.
But,
No,
okay.
I believe that should be a separate project
Yeah, okay.
altogether. But I'll get some numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions or comments on the safety report as presented?
I
Not
don't.
somebody may want to make a motion. Thanks, Richard. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
If I could just talk to Preston on the Fabian.
Yeah,
Water
That
problem.
happened after I submitted my report, so it wasn't included, so, yeah.
Okay.
So last Thursday, approximately 8:30 AM, actually both VFDs dumped in Fabian, which then shut the water system off. This occurred while we were filling the maintenance truck that was flushing the sewer systems. So obviously a little bit of different dynamic when you put a demand on the system, at least enough to engage the second pump. And we had done it the day before, had no issues. Thursday morning, we go out there, same scenario. And for some reason, it faulted both VFDs. So, I mean, we also called Battle River Electric in at the same time because we couldn't get the VFDs to restart. We did unplug the PLC system, the ProLogic controller, plugged it back in, which then restarted the VFDs, and the system went back online. Electrician came out. Basically, the fault on there is a parameter that the VFD picks up on, and then of course it basically shuts down in I guess like a saving mode, so it doesn't I guess do something to your pump or something to the VFD. So I would assume that because of the technology, just things talking back and forth, maybe, you know, with the PLC being a little bit older and the VFD being brand new, there's some issues with that communication. I'm not 100% sure. We don't really know for sure, but he was able to prevent that from happening again by doing something inside the VFD and programming it. We did the same thing at our other system because they're exactly the same. but why it happened, we really honestly don't know. So, got the system up and running by 9:25. We did actually put a notice on the MD website at 9 o'clock for the boil water advisory. Approximately at 10:30, we had door knockers out for the boil water advisory. We flushed the system from both flush hydrants, checked chlorine residuals, then turned around and then we grabbed bacterial samples and then we took those to Edmonton, dropped them off. And then the next day we got the information from Alberta Health Services that everything was good. So then we lifted the boil water order after that. Excuse me, boil water advisory, not an order.
So those door knockers, I'm assuming you just grab some summer students and bang on doors. Do
Well,
we
luckily
leave,
enough, they happened to be there at the time. So yeah, I was able to do that. Otherwise, that doesn't work.
do we leave any literature there on the door or anything like that, or nobody answers? What do we do?
Yeah, we stick it in the door.
Okay.
And close it.
'Cause I had
So-
one ratepayer phone me and say they didn't find out till that night. And their teenage kids had been using the water all day and they were quite concerned about
Oh.
that.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Can't say for sure exactly how to correct that. I'm sure other communities have a lot of the same issues. I mean, there's no way Calgary can have a boil water order on and knock on every door and hand out to everybody as well. I mean, I know we're not the same size, but I mean, obviously they have people that fall through the cracks. We'll have people that fall through the cracks. I don't know what to say. We could, as part of our utility program, maybe we could take information on that side and then we can have a fan out email that'll help cover some of the cracks. But I doubt we'll ever be able to get across to everybody.
Okay.
I mean, you could put it in the front door and they use the back door. You can put it in the back door and use the front door. I don't know.
No, I know this person had wondered, like with the school buses, they have a group text if the bus isn't gonna be. I mean, to put 90 people on a group text is quite an,
I'm sure it's not impossible.
It's doable.
Yeah.
Email.
Yeah. That could be something that potentially on the office side they could look into.
Eliminate your need for door knockers.
Well, they would be helpful for
If
sure.
you had a text blast go out to everybody.
Yeah.
So you need both though, I think.
I think you would need both still, yeah, if they're available.
There's
Like
a
you
lot
said,
of
this
people
time they
that
were right
look
there.
at
It was
their
handy,
text
but-
Once a day.
It was advertised on social media.
Just you, Bruce.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
thought I'd throw that out.
although I know I got
I
3 or
miss the
4
on-phone
older
call,
ratepayers
too.
there that
You're-
don't
not
have
all of them are gonna
computers
be
or
on
that,
it,
or-
right?
no.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think administration will have a conversation about that and maybe look at a way we could enhance or improve on that. But for the most part, I agree with you. There's no perfect solution for it, so.
When you bring up the summer students, are we able, or is it even make
Yeah,
sense
I
to
know.
train them for traffic
you don't know
control?
which houses are
When we're paying
occupied and
for
which ones
traffic
aren't.
control, can they be trained in that way, or is it a pretty involved procedure, or what?
I mean, it's not impossible. Last year we didn't use any traffic control.
Yeah.
So it's hit and miss.
Just project specific.
Yeah, very project specific.
Okay. Good conversation. RFD, salt and sanding. Yeah,
I
we
got
just
the
got a couple
mechanics
extra.
truck first, right?
Yeah, I got a truck first.
Truck
We had the
first.
truck first,
Like,
yeah.
Oh, on mine, it shows okay, let's do the mechanic truck
You're
first
out of
then.
order.
You're right, Mike.
You're leading
You're
the show
right.
here, boss. So whatever you want to do. I'll
Yeah,
follow
we'll
you.
start with, no, I listen to the people. We start with the mechanic truck.
No, that's D on the thing, not C.
Okay, as presented in the planning meeting, this is our mechanic truck. I went through Canoe RMA pricing to bring forward a couple units for council to look at. We are within budget on this proposal. So we had a truck presented by commercial and a truck presented by Brandt truck and trailer, not tractor. The commercial truck is a 2026 chassis. The Brandt truck is a 2024 chassis. The box on both of them are very similar. The commercial truck is a super cab and the Brandt truck is a quad cab. So
What kind of trucks are they?
they're both Ford diesels.
Ford?
Yeah.
And we're not replacing a truck, I'm sorry, this is,
So we have a 19, I believe it was a 91.
we're keeping it then?
No,
Okay,
we'll put it to
hold
auction.
on.
Oh, okay. So it's a replacement, not a,
Okay. You might not have heard it because Oscar didn't have his mic on, but he makes a motion to go with option one, commercial truck, I believe it says. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions or comments on that motion?
This is coming with new tooling I see in there as well.
Yeah, we added some budget dollars for tooling.
So it's got a compressor and.
It has, yes, it has
and
a
the
compressor.
arm and all
I'm
that
assuming a
stuff.
crane.
Yeah, it has a 5,500 pound crane. It has compressor. It has a 12 volt, 24 volt booster pack. So, yeah, it's done up pretty nice. So,
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, are you guys doing good with road salt now?
Let's do it, Mike.
Let's do road salt.
Okay,
Well, in our book, it says that you're good.
they're here. Yeah, we have 3 RFPs, so we'll get through here. Okay, road salt and sand mixing. So
okay, so seasonal road salt and sand mixing. In the past, I've always used Site Energy. I have looked a few years back for another mixer. I did not check this year for another mixer. We're kind of late in the game. Something I could look at going forward. Site Energy comes to our location and does all the mixing, and they've done a pretty good job in the last 20 years.
How's the price comparable to last year?
It's up 35 cents, I believe. It was 6.10 last year.
Well, with fuel, that's
It's
fairly
fairly
reasonable.
negligible.
okay, any other questions or comments?
I make a motion, we go with, accept this quote and hire them.
Okay, thanks, Sean. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Chip seal budget increase.
So the square meters are presented at planning for our 2026 chip seal. It's a little bit lower than what we're getting on site. So we completed the first 4 projects. We have a overage on budget if we continue at this rate. So as opposed to canceling one of our single chip projects to stay within budget, Tyson and I looked at numbers and decided that if we present an overage to council and they approve it, we can stay within budget and continue. Okay, so some of these, for a little bit of information. So as we approve these projects, we're approving them for November for chip seal in the beginning of the year. We could maybe look at this process a little differently. That will help us out as we get in there and we rip the road and work it over. We can find that we can get a little bit more surface area to stabilize, which is probably what council wants. I mean, if you have an 8-meter top, when you look at it and you rip it and spread it and get it ready, and you have, we can get 8.5 out of this, it makes more sense to stabilize the 8.5 as opposed to leaving it. So this is where I ran into on one of our projects. We got a 0.5 meter more than what was given to me by the measurement. So
Okay,
Which is a good thing.
it's a positive, but it does change numbers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll make that motion, Mike.
thank you, Oscar.
Good to hear you, buddy.
Any questions or comments? If not, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, fog seal budget addition as well.
So in the fog seal, what happened here was I made an error in the RFP. I used miles as my number, but put kilometers in. So obviously when you convert miles to kilometers, it's more. So that's where the mistake was made. So I think we have an overage of approximately $8,700 or something to that effect. I mean, we had to get the final invoicing in, so we went with this number here to cover that for budget. So it was an error in unit of measurement as opposed to not measuring correctly.
Okay,
I'll make a motion. We'll go with option one.
This fog seal seems better than last time.
This is a different product. Well, no, last year, from what you saw in your area last time, yeah. But last year we used the same product on the east end of the MDO
Oh,
Wainwright.
okay.
And this year they,
It sure seemed to seal everything.
yeah, it's a nice product.
Yeah.
It seems to be a little thicker, kind of flows into the low spots between the stones, fills that in a bit, stays soft. You can go out there next month and you can fingernail test it and it stays a little softer. So,
Okay.
Okay,
Not that.
Richard made the motion to go with option one and approve the increase. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thanks, gentlemen.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yes, last night I was out doing some road checks, some mowing checks. Found a couple signs missing.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I think you're mic'd up.
Yep.
Stay alive. Keep it PG.
Are you going to?
What?
Already did.
Look at you. You're gonna have another heart attack.
Oh, no, it was their mistake.
Oh,
not ours.
Get in.
We have it in our package too, though.
Okay, we have it there.
Mhm.
You can just look at it too. Would you rather? I can Vanna wait it out.
See when it blasts you.
Thanks, Lisa. But you want us to talk with the microphone, Vanna?
Yes.
Okay.
While they're,
Good morning.
while they're building, getting that ready here, we can just go around and do introductions quick if that works. We'll start with our parks.
Ray Morris, the Director of Safety and Parks and Recreation.
Bruce Collins. Director of Public Works.
Tyson, we met in the lobby.
Kelly Buczynski, Municipal Administrator. Good morning.
Neil Noonan, Assistant Municipal Administrator. Oscar Buck.
Sean Rue.
And Robin Layton. Oh, Suki, Suki.
And Suki.
I'm Shelley Sinclair. I'm Tara. And Zane, the Director of Development Services. Thanks.
And then, yeah, so just in behind us, working on bringing this up is Steven, our IT guy. And Dana is our development officer. So we'll just give it a second to come up, so.
It's in the agenda package.
It was in the package as well, yeah.
Didn't go by what I told you to. Go get one. Well, Mike's approved it too. Oh, I get to.
Perfect. I think we're good. So thanks for coming in and I'll let you ladies run with it.
Absolutely. So, the three of us, along with two other people, are part of the Irma Community Trail Committee. Separate from the Village of Irma, we are just a volunteer group that has decided there's a little bit of a need for a community trail that's multi-use in our village. So we got together and had a meeting and we created a vision. We just want to try, it might not look exactly like this picture, but we're just trying to create a safe and accessible community trail that is going to connect throughout our town and encourage some healthy living and connect our neighborhoods a little bit, support some more recreation, because right now a lot of it happens on some sidewalks in our village, but a lot of it happens on the roads in our village. And maybe help some tourism with the nice looks of it and celebrate some of the natural beauty and history that we have in Vermont. So we have our mission here and we are going to work with the Village of Irma. We're hoping to work with you guys as well. And volunteers, hopefully not just the five of us, but some other volunteers are hopefully going to show up in Irma once they see some of the product that's produced. We're going to look at trying to get some funding either from some local businesses or just fundraising ourselves. And then, of course, once the trail is made, we have to develop it, but then we also need to maintain it and support it afterwards. So we're aware of that as part of the mission as well. And we have a phase 1, which is approximately 1 kilometer. I'll show you some pictures after of what that would look like. We're hoping in 1 year to have 1 kilometer put down. We do have a very long-term phase of a total of 6 kilometers. That might be a little bit ambitious for us, but we're going to look at taking 4 years. We're going to see how the fundraising goes and how support it is in our village. So, on the next slide, we have some goals. These aren't in any particular order, but we want to complete the planning. We have not started the planning of it other than where we would like to put it, and then we have spoken with a company that we would contract out. The biggest part is the funding, so we got to secure our funding and then we would construct it. We're looking at a 6-foot wide trail, and then starting with that first kilometer, then later goal 4 is completing the other sections. We haven't decided an order for that. We know which first kilometer we want, but we don't know after that. And then goal 5 is just get some community involvement. And we're hoping once we put that first kilometer down, people will see how much it benefits them, and we're hoping it's used a lot. And then go from there and maybe continue making more. And then our last goal is asking the village to help us maintain it. The trail is going to be 6 feet wide. It needs, like, it's clay base or the existing base dug down. Then on top of that, either crushed gravel or crushed cement even can be used for that. And the biggest cost is the asphalt on top. There would not be bars on each side, but there would just be the asphalt surface with drainage on each side. We were quoted approximately anywhere between $105 to $142 per square meter. That doesn't sound too bad, but then there's a lot of square meters in a 1 kilometer thing. And this one's a little bit smaller. This next slide will be a little bit smaller for you to see. And maybe you can look at it yourself later. But we have the colorful parts or the places we have talked about maybe putting down after the first section. You can see the word school there, and golf course has a yellow line. If you want to go to the next slide, it might be easier to see. This is where we want to start. So from the school, that bright yellow highlighted line, over to the golf course, or possibly a little bit further to the rain room that's there. The approximate cost could range anywhere from $189,000 to $256,000 for that 1 kilometer. And the reason for that is our first choice is there aren't any sidewalks coming from our school. And so if you go to the next slide, this is the view coming out of the parking lot from the school. the curb on the right-hand side is coming out of the staff parking lot where a lot of students walk, and they walk going towards the east on the road. And at the other end of that road is the golf course, and we have a lot of students on Monday nights go to, probably 30 to 40 students walk along that road to go golfing, carrying their golf clubs, and there's a little bit of a hill you can see. The second picture maybe shows that hill a little bit more, and they just walk straight across the road. We thought that would be a good starting place for safety reasons. And there's also a lot of students daily that walk along that road to their home. So that's where our starting place is. And if I could just stand up and point, we would be starting in front of, this is our museum. We'd be starting in front of there. So this is already people's driveways. And we'd be starting that way. So that's where we're hoping to start and go to the first, our first kilometer. So why are we here? Our asks are, I guess we want permission to proceed because some of this is on MD land. Cooperating with you would be great as well, but also cooperation from the people who own land in the MD. We want permission to go and speak with them, or if there's a different formality that needs to take place of asking to be on. Some of it might be on their land, some of it might be in front of their land. And then any involvement that you can give us would be great. I know that there's apparently a pile of concrete in Irma that can be crushed up, and we might be able to use that. Not that it's owned by the MD, but something similar to that could be something that we would look at if we had any way to help us with that. So that would be the last thing, supplies and tools that we can help. Right now, we're not here to ask for money, but we're not saying we're not going to ask for money. But right now, we're just asking basically permission to proceed and ask people who live in your guys' jurisdiction whether we can put this in their or on their lawn possibly, or whatever. Yeah. So that's all I have to say. And these other two ladies are full of wisdom too, so they can add to anything I already. Or anyone has questions, they will ask.
Yeah, we'll open it up for questions if anybody has any questions or comments.
What's the total price, John?
Well, it would be 1.5 million if we proceeded with the 6 phases or the 6 kilometers total. We're hoping the first kilometer goes down, and that might be where we stop. It could be the end of it if that took a lot of work. You know, if the fundraising is coming from little bits at a time and there isn't a lot of community involvement, and that the community is looking at other activities happening in town to be looking for money for that. So if it's a struggle to get that first kilometer done, that might be where we stop as well. We haven't made a commitment to the 6 kilometers. I feel like we've sort of made a commitment, not that anyone has signed anything, but we've kind of made a commitment to that first kilometer.
Okay.
But it would be about, at the highest end, 1.5 million for 6 kilometers of asphalt surface.
How much is the first portion of the project?
When Eddie talked to us, he's the person we would be getting the asphalt from. He said the maximum would be approximately $250,000, but he's giving us that highest number if we had to purchase all the gravel, if we didn't have any tools used from the village office, let's say, or if the MD had tools, like, you know, if there was a bobcat we could use. We had to pay for everything all in, it would be the $256,000.
You say your rest bill doesn't come for that.
Okay, I think we like just reading this correctly, you guys just want to make sure it's okay to put it within the MD owned property and that you can have permission from the MD to go and speak to the residents about putting it on there. So that's the first step. So I guess I'll kind of refer to Preston on this as our public works director. If we would have any issues or if there'd be any liabilities that you could foresee.
Well, maintenance is the first thing that comes to my mind. So in your vision, Shelley, where exactly does this multi-use trail, is it adjacent to the road? Is it 3 meters to the north of the road? It looks like it's all on the north side, but
Yeah,
um,
that's correct.
yeah. So is it along the north side of the right of way? Is it like whereabouts is it? Just out of curiosity,
I
in your mind. And maybe you haven't even thought about that yet, which is quite
We talked
possible.
about it because there is some fencing that is right beside the museum that we wouldn't need to be on the other side of that fencing. Or with the fencing, we would be very close to the road in some sections. Then there's also quite a deep ditch where we would almost need to go to the bottom of the ditch, and then that makes us have to take a few trees out, which now we're getting past 6 feet probably into the person's property, so. It might, I don't know if it would be uniform always right against the road. I don't think that it right now can without a lot of alterations. The ditches.
Because what comes to mind is, what was that? Yeah, it sounds like it'd all be in the right of way on the north side. What comes to mind is, in the winter time when we snow plow, whoever cleans the trail, we go by, we fill it.
Right, yeah.
Right, so there's some of that, unless there's a separation, or, I mean, attaching it right to the shoulder road. In the future, if we ever have to fix that road, that becomes an issue as well. So I think there's some communication there. Not that I'm trying to, I'm just trying to make you more aware of potentially what we may be looking for, so that we can try and figure that out and work together, right?
Yeah, and we presented to the village office last week asking for maintenance on the trail specifically, and they gave us the thumbs up on that I hadn't thought about when you guys are clearing that road. Now that section, that's all that.
Yeah, potentially, depending on where it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There can be buried cables and that too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah, that's right, yeah.
So this requires a development permit, Dana, in a sense, or what? Council approval, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Gotcha. Wasn't sure if that, right, yeah.
I think a good next step would be, it's hard for us until we know exactly where it's gonna be in the right of way to give permission or not, but I'm not saying we're close to the idea. I think we don't want to discourage you in any way, shape or form, but I think it would be, just for the next step, a good idea to have the local councillor and our public works director to come out there and get a lay of the land and exactly on what you guys are looking at, and then they can report it back to us. And then at that point, we can have a more informed discussion on how it's going to look and what some of the details would be.
Okay.
Spectrum, the contract?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Spectrum.
Probably wouldn't hurt to have a representative from them as well.
Sure, yeah, okay. And they've already been part of this process, so.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Us helping to figure out what we're.
Is that who the town uses?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
They do pretty good work for the town.
Yeah.
And then in continuing phases, I encourage this to come to like the Wainwright Rural Rec Board and things like that as well, or not, just their local one. Why wouldn't we go in on it as well?
It's out of our jurisdiction, really.
I think it includes us, no? I like it.
I think one,
I don't mind.
Yeah.
I mean, we're usually 4 or 5.
Let them do their rec board first.
Well, we can give them a 1-up on it.
Mhm.
what about grants? Is there any grants that this would fall under?
Already started.
You guys have started the process already? Okay,
Yeah.
excellent.
Did you try and encompass too?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
We've actually only applied for one because the deadline was the end of July, and the other ones are in September. So we may make the further request of letters of support.
Oh, yeah.
From this.
Okay.
And the items I brought up aren't to discourage a project. It's to help us, build a better project for an end result, right? That works good for the village of Irma and also works good for the maintenance side as well. Because we don't need the two of them clashing, and that just doesn't work in the end.
Yeah, and that higher end amount is, tree removal. It's the most expensive it will be, so if we fundraise that amount, it could possibly take us 2 kilometers if there isn't a lot to have. I really like the things that
So where would the second kilometer be, down to the highway?
It's on,
well,
That's the green one?
so if you go back to, so, This is the golf course and this is beige, so it doesn't show up very well. But we were thinking this one is more in nature, and here we start in the village itself. It starts to get a little bit difficult because we don't have sidewalks everywhere, so now you're building something that's in the village, that's asphalt, that's taking the place of the sidewalk, it doesn't look very nice, so.
That's a mile up, mile over back.
Isn't it a half? I think
Yeah.
it's
It's only-
about
it's
a
only a
half,
quarter?
and then this is like,
Okay.
No,
this is
that's-
through nature, this isn't a road. So this is,
Oh, I see.
Donna Smallwood owns the land in this area apparently. She has already said, everything, but this would be in, beside the golf course, between the road and the golf course.
Yeah.
That would be right adjacent to the golf course, and then this would come back. And again, we don't know about that because we haven't talked to these people who might not want that.
Okay.
That we had talked about that being our next phase. And then possibly that purple line, which would, yeah, basically be another way to get to the village from that area.
Short walk or long walk.
Yep, yeah, that's.
I think our first step too was safety, and I guess that's why I really got involved, is so many children are on the road. If there was something designated that looked like a walking path, or your bicycle could go on there, it really moves the children and everyone who's walking over. Cause there's a lot of near misses. We've got a lot of kids that go down that road all over, and then it would be a lot safer for them. And we have a lot of people that are walking. That's a main road.
Good, yep. Any other questions or comments?
I have some concern, anytime you put a walking trail right next to the highway. Even in the distance, there's a distance walking. We should be on the edge of that. For safety. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we get thinking around and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't think that we should ever be going on the side.
Well, I think when Garnet and Preston go out there and meet with them, that when it does look where speeds start to elevate and it's a concern, maybe there is the option to come on the outside, but I think I'll leave that in their hands to bring it back to us.
I
And
worry about who's liable.
I hear what you're saying, Oscar, but we're kind of making some assumptions, and I think it's best just to go out and meet with these folks. And
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
your first stretch should be like your lower speeds, and it should be
Yeah,
pretty
well, that
straightforward.
is a speed zone already, all the way from the golf course in.
And there is a lot of people walking out there.
There
Oh.
is, and there are a lot of people who walk on the road north of the
Yep.
golf course
Yep.
already, and their kids are on bikes and stuff, so right now they are on the road. So moving them off of the road might be.
better.
It's the main walking.
Thank you very much
area.
for your time.
No,
It's the main walking.
thank you for coming in. So we will line it up with Garnet Preston, and if your contractor could be there, that would be ideal, but
Okay, you'll just communicate.
So Shelley, I'll
Yeah.
contact you to organize a meeting and then we'll go from there. I'll
That'd be great.
get some
Okay,
dates from you and we'll go from there.
For sure. Thank
Yep.
you so much, you guys.
you're welcome to stay for coffee. We're gonna break for coffee. You're welcome to stay if you like, or,
Because that was that.
okay, we'll get him out there as well. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna break for coffee, Stephen. Okay.
It's all that counts.
Okay, we'll call the meeting back to order and getting into finance. So accounts were sent out on Friday after finance. Any questions or comments on those? If not, somebody want to move them?
Yep.
Who did finance?
Me.
Sean.
Yeah.
Sean and I were here Friday. Thanks, Sean. Any, oh, I already asked that. All those in favor?
Yep.
Opposed? Carried. Financial statements. Any questions or comments on that? If not, somebody want to make a motion to accept them? Bruce? Thanks, Bruce. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Reserves are there for information. And we're moving on to administration and taxation. Monthly status report is there. Any questions or comments on that? Everything's going good. And we have some RFDs for, is it Battle River Watershed first?
No, not on this sheet. Depends.
I've got the 2026 Fall Army Conference.
Okay, let's start there then.
So this is to authorize council and administration, which would be myself and Preston.
This is November 2nd?
It's from November 2nd to 5th.
Right.
Okay. Any questions or comments on that?
You want him to go?
I'll
Sorry.
make a motion to go with option one.
Thanks, Richard. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
That was moved by Bruce.
Richard. Yeah. Okay, now we do the Battle River Watershed Alliance.
They're looking for funding based on our population for 2026-27. The amounts are there, I believe, 2,224.27 for the year.
Is this the same amount, Kelly, we've given over the other years?
I believe it's very similar, yes.
Yeah, it's
Same
up a
as
hair,
last
isn't
year.
it?
Yeah, thanks, Tyson.
It might be up here, but it's
Pretty close.
pretty well.
Are
Yeah.
are you on this board, Bruce?
I am.
Oh, you are. Are they headed into the schools to do?
Yeah.
Again this year?
And I went to their meeting in Camrose a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's their
Down by the lake there.
Yeah, Mirror Lake.
Okay. Okay, Oscar moves that we go with option one to approve the amount. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, next I have a RMA District 5 meeting of September 25th in Vague. And
Usually council and administration will attend, plus we'll have some of our support staff because we are doing the administration for that meeting. So we'll probably have some assistants come along with us.
okay, any questions or comments on that?
I'll make a motion to go with option number one, approve attendance.
Thanks, Sean. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. So the RMA member bulletins are there for your information.
There's a lot of them.
There is, but there's a lot of good,
There's
I really enjoy
some
these. There's
interesting
Yeah,
some
stuff.
really
some
good.
of it's pretty cool, but
Yeah.
some of it's not quite.
Some of it's not very cool.
Okay, so going back to Health and Social Services, there was an RFD for Viking request for physician recruitment, and we have asked for more information to bring it back, and we tabled it. So we are back to a conversation.
More information.
I'm trying to remember what we were asking for.
Contact the Community Health Foundation.
Yes, we did get a little bit of information on what our the Community Health Foundation on what our portion is on what we pay for our recruitment. So those numbers, I believe we talked about at Strat Plan. Richard, you weren't here, but we did have a discussion, or that information was presented at Strat Plan. It wasn't really much of a discussion. So what do you guys want to do with this? We've had it here a couple months now.
I make a motion, we forward it to RMA, option number 2, and try to make it a more regionalized issue instead of trying to handle it one-on-one.
Yeah.
So put it
Each
on the agenda
individual-
of the District 5 meeting for,
Yeah, instead of
a
trying
discussion.
to give somebody money here and somebody money there. Let's try to make it like a
Consistent.
more consistent.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody's good with that?
Yep.
Okay, any questions or comments on Sean's motion? All those in favor? Opposed?
Good one, Sean.
Carried.
Way to go, Sean.
Okay. And moving on, we have a bylaw.
Fine.
Yeah. Bylaw number 1733, a bylaw of the municipal district of Wainwright number 61 in the province of Alberta authorizing the erection or removal of stop or yield signs for traffic control at a designated location. So on our, the numbers are listed there where they are. So you got the land. There's
They're all
3 of
in-
them?
They're all in my
5
area.
of 'em, all in Richard's area?
Yeah.
When you
Looks
want
like-
Why do you want them out of there?
I want them in. I want stop signs in.
Instead of yield signs in
Yeah.
2, and then you want to stop, put in 1 other additional.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, need a motion for the
Yep.
first reading.
No.
Thanks, Richard. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Motion for the second reading.
Yeah.
Thanks, Oscar. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Motion to proceed.
Sure.
Bruce, thank you. All those in favor? Need to see your hand, Oscar. It's got to be unanimous. All those in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Carried. And third and final reading.
I'll do that one.
Thanks, Robin. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, thank you. And development.
I know she was in with a, oh, it must be gone.
Hello again.
Morning development. How are you two today?
Good, how about you guys?
Good, thanks. Okay, so we have the Director of Development Services report there. Any questions or comments? Or anything you'd like to add, Dana, or?
Yeah, I can just add that busy month. We had 7 development permits last month, so that was up a little bit from our usual. And that we've had a couple really good meetings this past month. We were down in Red Deer meeting with Public Lands and the Water Act folks in regards to Clear Lake, as well as myself and the Reeve attended the Clear Lake Watershed meeting this past Sunday, and they had a great turnout, and we were able to share some updates with them on the shoreline modification project. So great timing for that.
What's the consensus like around on the shoreline?
They were really optimistic that we're finally about ready to hit go. So about a number of people that were in attendance were people that are on our waiting list. So really excited that we're finally on the home stretch. And the way it sits right now, none of them seemed, super intimidated by the measures that are required. So
Good.
That's good. Okay, any other questions or comments? No, seeing none. Somebody want to make a motion to accept the report as presented?
will.
Thanks, Garnet. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much. And committee reports. So we'll start with the Wainwright Sea Cleaning Plant.
Ah, yes, we finally had a meeting after a few months. We did our year-end bushels total was 175,000 bushels. And we are currently looking at expanding the operation into selling grass seed and chicken feed.
Chicken feed.
Screenings
Oh, yeah. Okay.
and things off the dust collector. It costs us money to dump it at the dump, but there's actually quite a bit of like bits of grain in it. The
What
chickens would,
about bird seed too?
or that, and it would be like cheap.
Not a customer.
It would be cheap. So that's where we're at.
Sounds good. Thanks, Sean. Edgerton Sea Cleaning Plant,
No meeting.
no meeting. Okay, FCS.
We have a meeting August 26th. We've had the summer off. They've still had a very busy summer in programming, but hopefully we'll bring back some information after the meeting.
Okay. And the Battle River Foundation,
No meeting.
no meeting. Okay, Wainwright landfill.
The Wainwright landfill. All our tests from the EPA gas monitoring came back with an approval letter, so that was good news. Yeah, nothing major. The land is for sale on the subdivision that was collectively
They had
forwarded and passed.
Three bids, wasn't it?
They haven't had bids, I
Two.
just think inquiries.
Yeah.
Nobody's,
Oh, this is the old railroad site?
yeah, the old railroad site. Mhm.
Good. Okay, East Central 911.
No meeting, just check signing and said it's been a really busy month, you know, collectively, so other than that, pretty quiet.
Good.
Well, not quiet.
Busy, but
very
quiet.
busy.
Community Health Foundation.
No meeting this month.
Okay. Northern Lights Library Systems.
We have a Zoom meeting August 28th. Cleanup from the flood in Elk Point was all mitigated and there was not a lot of book damage, just,
Oh, good.
yeah, which was, yeah, all the shelves are up on wheels, so that was good. I think I reported that last time, but we'll see what
Yeah.
happens on the 28th.
Okay. Wainwright Economic Development Board.
No meeting,
No meeting as well.
you know,
Okay.
summertime.
Summertime, yeah, things are usually a little quieter. Somebody want to make a motion to accept the reports as presented? Oscar, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, need a motion to go into closed session.
Yep.
Thanks, Sean. All those in favor?
Yep.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Okay, so,
Let's go.
somebody want to make a motion to come out of closed session?
Do that, Michael?
Thanks, Richard. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, need a motion to cancel the tax penalty on roll numbers 294001, 2779900, and 9090008
I'll make that motion.
for a total of $3,519.84. Oscar makes a motion. Any questions or comments? Not all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, also need another motion to enter a tax agreement and penalty reduction to owner number 8929.
I'll make that motion.
Thanks, Sean. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. One more motion. Motion to adjourn
I'll
by
do
Bruce.
that.
Oh, Bruce just beat you.
Oh.
Okay, thanks, everyone.